Hi everyone, so here is my Holdsworth Mystique Gravel Bike. Just thought I'd give you a quick run through of the bike itself, just the technical specs of it, and just tell you about my experience in riding it. So I bought it from Planet X because they sell Holdsworth bikes. I bought it from Planet X approximately 3 years ago. I think I got it, if memory serves, around about 2021 in one of the last pandemic lockdowns. So it was delivered to me really quickly. It's a gravel bike with a 1x group set. I've been wanting a gravel bike for quite a while because the thought of having a 1x group set and a bike that can kind of tackle any terrain and yet still be effective on the road really appeals. Yeah, it's been a fantastic bike. So let's start with the specs. So it's got SRAM Rival 1x group set, hydraulic disc brakes. I've had bikes for years, and I'm fully aware. I've had road bikes. I'm fully aware of front and rear derailleurs and how they work. But I just like the idea of having a simplistic group set, a simplistic drivetrain. I love the idea of having just one chainring on the front and a good spread of gears on the back. My biggest fear when I was purchasing the bike was that I was going to run out of gears going uphill. Never really afraid of running out of gears going downhill, because basically I'll freewheel before I'm running out of gears. I'm not a speed merchant. I'm not looking for top speeds when I'm descending. So it was never a fear of mine that I was going to run out of gears going downhill. It was more about running out of gears going uphill. Now it's got a 42 tooth chainring on the front, and it has a 1142 cassette on the back. Originally I thought it was a 44, but it's a 42. And to be honest with you, the spread of gears on it has been not a problem. Really good. There's a couple of steep climbs near where I live, and I've been able to get up them quite easily using the second biggest cog rather than the biggest cog. So the 1x group set has just not been a problem for me at all. Most of the roads that I travel on are reasonably flat, and I would say 2/3 of the time when I've used the bike it has been on road. 1/3 has been off-road. Haven't really used it on gravel. It's mainly been on kind of like off-road forest trails, but it's coped really well. It's got Fulcrum Racing 900 wheels, alloy wheels, but they've been pretty good. Obviously wheels are one of the first things that you would upgrade on most bikes. The tyres that it came with, a Panaracer Comet Hardpack 700 by 38s, and they're not massively off-road tread. They've performed really well on road, and all of my off-road riding has been dry, but they've coped really well. Haven't had any problems with the tyres at all. I've actually, over the last 12 months, I've started to use these tyres as my winter tyres, and I've swapped them out during the summertime for some, I've stayed on brand, I've swapped them for some Panaracer Gravel King 38s, and they are semi-slick, and they've, again, really good levels of comfort on the road, but on the road you are significantly faster with the semi-slicks as opposed to these. But these have been really good on road as well as off-road, so I can't really complain with the Panaracer tyres. So yeah, it's just been an absolutely fantastic bike. I've absolutely loved it. I've swapped out the saddle. There's only really been, I would say, 3 negative things about the bike, things that I would change, and 2 of those are things that you would probably change anyway. One thing you can't change. The one thing that you can't change is the Allen screw that tightens the seat post is like an integrated one, and I would prefer, it's a little bit fiddly. You've got to have like a long Allen key, otherwise you're fouling the frame sometimes. But yeah, I would change that. You can't just beat a normal collar, but obviously we can't have that because of the design of the frame. But that's just a little bit annoying, but it's nothing major. As with most people, I've swapped out the standard saddle because it was just a little bit basic and a bit uncomfortable. I've had a few saddles in my time, trying to find one that's comfortable. This is a Bioflex one that I got off eBay. It was about, I think it was 27 quid. It's got some gel inserts on the sit bones, and I just thought I'd give it a go, and it's been really, really comfy. I've been quite surprised with it. And a little thing here which other saddle manufacturers might take note, it's got some little plastic inserts that you can just see there, and they just sit proud ever so slightly, and that's if you want to lean your bike up against a wall or anything like that, it doesn't scuff your saddle. It uses the plastic inserts. Quite clever, quite nifty. But yeah, it's a decent saddle. It's got a decent cutout. I found it really comfy. And the other thing is, again, bar tape. This is the standard bar tape. I've used it for 3 years. I was planning on changing the bar tape, but I'm actually selling the bike. If I was going to keep the bike, I was going to actually change the handlebars and the bar tape. The bar tape is just really, really basic, but most bar tape is basic on bikes under £4,000 or £5,000. You rarely get decent bar tape. The bar tape that you really like, you've got to buy as an extra and fit it yourself. But it's fine. I mean, I've got some really nice specialized gloves with gel inserts, so comfort for me has never really been a problem holding onto the bars. But if my gloves were rubbish, I'd probably want to upgrade the bar tape to get a bit more comfort on the job. The finishing kit is all Selkoff. It's all standard Planet X, which hasn't been a problem, been absolutely fine. I did wonder when I got the bike what the flared handlebars were going to be like, because I've never had flared handlebars before. I mean, these aren't massively flared. You can see there is a little bit of a flare on them. The hoods and the brake levers turn in a little bit. But what I have noticed is when you've got your hands on the drops, as you can see there, you can get a good idea of the flare. When you've got your hands on the drops, they are just a little bit wider, and it is actually quite comfortable. Some flared handlebars, for me, they're too flared. But then again, I don't do a massive amount of off-road riding to benefit from that. But I just don't like the look of some flared, the really aggressive flared where the brake levers are really turned in. I don't really like them. But again, you know, these handlebars have been absolutely fine for me. It comes with mudguard mounts. It also comes with, you can see there's the usual 2 bottle cage holders on the main triangle, but then you've also got one underneath the down tube that you can just see there. Again, that's been really handy because at times when I've been on long rides, I've had 2 bottles in the main triangle, and then I've had a canister with just spares inside on the bottom, so I haven't had the need to have any bags on the bike or any saddlebags or anything like that, which is quite handy. Integrated cabling, that's been, you know, no real problems with that. I like the colourway. I'm not one of these that are into dull colours or monotone colours. I mean, I'm calling out Specialized here. The Specialized bikes are great, but the colour and the paint jobs on them is, for me, I know it's a personal thing, but I just don't like them. I don't think I would buy a Specialized bike because the paint schemes are just boring. I'm not one of these that likes everything stealth and blacked out and one colour. Finishing kit and wheels, I like all being black, but when it comes to the frame and the forks, I like a bit of colour. 2 or 3 colours, bright colours. That's what I like. So my next bike, I'm sticking with Planet X because they're just fantastic value for money. But I've upgraded to electronic gears, and the frame on my next bike is going to be lime green. Can't wait. I love bright colours on bikes. but this bike has served me really well. It's been comfortable, it's been reliable. I've had speed out of it when I've needed it, and I can't really fault it. I've loved the 1x group set on it, not had any issues with that at all. But it's just time to get something new, time to upgrade. But what a great looking bike. You know, happy to have any comments. Tell me what you think about it. You rarely see reviews on Planet X bikes. I don't know why that is, but I would love to see more reviews on Planet X bikes, both in social media, on YouTube, but also in print, in magazines. I'd love to have some of their bikes compared to other manufacturers, because I think it would embarrass other manufacturers with the cost. I just don't know where some of these bike manufacturers are just getting their prices from. But you just can't beat bike manufacturers such as Planet X for value. Boardman are the same. You get a lot of bike for your money with Boardman. But yeah, so been a fantastic bike. Absolutely loved it. But it's just now time to have a cheeky little upgrade. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, everyone.